Tonight, authorities plead with Spencer Gulf drivers to slow down with children returning back to school, while principals and teachers prepare for another term amid COVID-19 restrictions.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamain begins now.
Good evening. Sobering figures have revealed 90 young lives have been lost on South Australian roads in the past decade, according to the RAA. The peak body now issuing a safety reminder as thousands of students return to school this week.
Start of Term 2 and the school drop-off this morning in Port Lincoln was in full swing. Hundreds of students returning to the classroom today, with authorities putting drivers on notice.
Always watch for the presence of children in or near the schools as you're driving through.
Bleak figures have revealed 90 young lives have been lost on South Australian roads over the past decade, according to the RAA. The peak body says it's simply not good enough.
I think sometimes we don't realise what does happen in and around schools, and that for that reason it is very important, obviously, to be mindful just how vulnerable children are.
It was a smooth ride to the classroom this morning, but police will be out in force this week to catch anyone doing the wrong thing.
Hopefully what we'll see is an incident-free period for the start of this term, obviously, and going forward for the rest of 2021.
The advice from the experts is to allow plenty of time to get to school, and with winter just around the corner, drivers are being asked to take extra care.
Early morning it can be darker, and in the early afternoon as well. So those weather conditions and reduced visibility can make it even more critical just to be mindful of what's going on.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Meanwhile, after a relaxing Easter break, students are now returning back to campus today with the commencement of Term 2. John Pirie Secondary School has opened the doors to its new drama building as part of its $10 million upgrade.
Putting pens to paper, students are back on campus bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. This is the first class to enter in the school's new drama hall.
This is drama. We're in the new drama room, so we're the first class to be here in the drama room, so it's kind of amazing.
The school principal happy with some new building doors finally opened following a transformation to the campus over the last year. Part of the state government's $10 million program to upgrade the school.
Yeah, it's great to see students in the building. It looks fantastic. This development is going to be wonderful for our school and for the community and young people for many years to come.
Watching it get built was actually amazing, seeing new things happen to the school.
Last year was a tricky time for senior students, but teachers are confident in the COVID-19 plans currently in place while continuing to educate students on the pandemic.
Been following now for the duration of this year in South Australia. It seems we're fortunate at the moment not to have community transmissions.
Now Stage 3 construction is nearing completion and the future is looking bright.
2 or 3 weeks will also occupy the first of our middle school precincts, so that's going to be stunning.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A Northern Territory man will face court after being nabbed allegedly drink driving, as well as having 2 firearms in his truck at Port Augusta. At 11:45 last night, National Heavy Vehicle Regulator officers stopped a truck heading along the Augusta Highway. Upon inspection of the vehicle, police say they found an insecure firearm. Police then spoke to the 54-year-old driver, who admitted to having 2 firearms in the vehicle. It's understood ammunition was also located. The driver then submitted to a breath test, allegedly recording a reading of 0.099. He was reported for a number of offences and will appear in the Port Augusta Magistrates Court at a later date. 37 drink and drug drivers were caught on South Australian roads over the Anzac Day long weekend. Police conducted more than 5,000 alco tests, with 20 recording a positive reading. 19 of the offenders were male, aged between 20 and 67 years. Drug tests were also conducted, with 16 out of 70 drivers returning a positive result. The State Superintendent Bob Gray described the offenders as selfish, saying they demonstrated a complete lack of respect for other drivers on the road. Still to come tonight, a $10 million boost to improve internet speeds for regional students. And local businesses encourage residents to spend this Mother's Day. Welcome back. Regional students will soon have better access to internet under a new state and federal government scheme. The joint program will see an injection of $10 million, aiming to improve connectivity for rural communities.
People living and working in the north of the state can look forward to faster 4G and broadband services. This regional connectivity program, one of 3 successful projects in the area of Grey, securing millions of dollars worth of Commonwealth funding.
It's about $4 million all up. I think we're around about that figure.
Telstra's Far North SA project will receive more than $2.5 million, providing improved internet services between Hawker and Lee Creek.
Which has always been a radio link, and so there'll be a significant upgrade there.
The boost including faster internet speeds to the Lee Creek and Murray Aboriginal schools. The second project will see people living and working in Woodna receive faster NBN. And the third, the Errinbella project, which will see a boost in the town's signal speeds.
We are seeing a number of small cells go in, which will actually sort of complete the rollout of mobile phone networks across the OPY. In so much as these communities with 100, 150 people in will now have mobile phone service.
With communications a vital key in rural living for running businesses, education and keeping in touch with family, the federal member for Grey says he is pleased with these projects. Sophia Contigonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Reform to the state's marine fishery has progressed, with 56 licence holders having their exceptional circumstances applications approved. It comes as part of the state government's $24.5 million licence buyback program.
New fishing reforms rocking the boat for many South Australians. Exceptional circumstances made available for certain licensed fishermen, with more than half out of 90 applications so far approved.
Exceptional circumstances beyond their control, making that transfer during that time with no knowledge of the changes coming. Also those people that purchased their licence during that time.
It follows years of uncertainty for many local anglers. An independent advisory panel recently provided recommendations of quota catches for fishers. Former Magistrate Dr Andrew Cannon appointed as independent advisor to consider the applications.
Of which 23 are increases in quotas, up to the 56 another opportunity to surrender their licence if they're not happy with no increase in quota.
Now, in just a matter of weeks until everything is finalised, new fishing rules are on track for implementation by July.
Those people that have received those letters have 3 weeks to respond to decide what they'd like to do.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
An environmental group has expressed its concerns over proposed gas exploration in the Far West. The New South Wales Nature Conservation Council saying any fracking projects would use vast amounts of water in areas already affected by drought. It also estimates a single well would require 15 million litres of water each year in order to extract underground gas. The proposal is in its consultation stage, and the Department of Planning says it doesn't preempt any future projects. Spencer Gulf businesses are encouraging residents to do something nice for Mum this year, with Mother's Day just around the corner. One popular Whyalla spot is urging locals to get in quick, with plenty of items flying out the doors.
Opening the doors to another day of customers. This local business owner putting out new stock for one of her busiest times of the year.
At the moment we are absolutely chock-a-block, so lots of dressing gowns, nighties, pyjamas.
With a variety of items on offer here at Top of the Town Lingerie, Anne says it's a great way to treat Mum this Mother's Day while also supporting local.
We like to think everyone shops local, but we know they don't. But, you know, it's amazing when people do really go looking what they find in the town.
It's much needed support, with the impacts of COVID-19 rolling into this year, continuing to affect many local businesses across the whole of the Spencer Gulf.
Talking to other shops and other retailers in different areas, they're having the same problems in the fact that shipping and freighting is a big problem at the moment.
It's one of the many reasons many shoppers are being encouraged to get in early.
Yes, shop early. Usually it's the Saturday before that we get it all, but no, some are shopping early and I'm quite impressed with some of the boys that have been in.
And if you're looking to treat mum with delicious food, multiple Whyalla restaurants and cafes are putting on a spread with some Mother's Day specials, an important time of year to celebrate our mums. Sophia Contagonos, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Port Lincoln Salt Festival wraps up its biggest event in 4 years. And we go behind the scenes of a new mystery thriller stand production filmed right here in the Spencer Gulf. Hello again. This year's bright and colourful Salt Festival has been labelled a major success by its organisers. The event's selling around 15,000 tickets, injecting hundreds of thousands of dollars into the local economy.
From live music, talks and workshops, this year's Salt Festival went off with a bang. An electric atmosphere saw more than 150 events rolled into an action-packed week.
It was just the most amazing 10 days.
It was a tough year for performers and organisers, but despite COVID restrictions, the festival sold around 15,000 tickets.
Much of the community booked early, which was really appreciated from our part.
Organisers are still crunching the numbers on how much money was raised, but say it will be significant.
I think it's been a very successful year, and what's happened there has also been an economic advantage to the region as well.
Revellers ran amok across the region with paddle-outs in Coffin Bay, while a comedy cruise chased the sunset in Boston Bay. The festival receiving rave reviews.
Seeing people leave events and being really happy and joyous when they left and coming to show us the things they made in workshops, it really just made it all worthwhile for me.
Even the organisers got into the spirit and let their hair down. While some shows left audiences in a spin, others captivated crowds. Organisers now taking a well-earned break before getting back to work, preparing for next year's event.
We'll be looking at some really absolutely wonderful events to bring in for next year and again, make it bigger and better.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The Port Augusta Hospital was today transformed into a film set as production crews got underway with filming for a new stand series. The Tourist is one of the biggest productions ever made in South Australia, with hopes the mystery thriller will help boost the regional economy.
Lights, camera, action. 7 Spencer Golf News given behind-the-scenes access to the set of the new Stan original series, The Tourist. Filming for the production starting last month at various locations across the state, including Adelaide, Quorn and Hawker. Today, film crews were at the Port Augusta Hospital.
South Australia has a diversity of locations that you don't see in the other states. Also, its proximity to the outback or areas of like Hawker and Quorn, which feel very isolated, was probably one of the principal reasons we came here.
The 6-part series from Golden Globe Award-winning company Two Brothers Pictures, set to be screened exclusively in Australia on Stan. Following actor Jamie Dornan's character, who is involved in a car and truck chase, ending in an accident where he wakes up in hospital and has no idea who he is.
It's about his journey of self-discovery and whether the person you used to be is the person that you are now.
Today, Australian actress Danielle McDonald was on set, playing a local police officer who gets caught up with Jamie's character. The 17-week shoot is the biggest television production ever to be made in South Australia, creating more than 120 jobs and injecting an estimated $12.1 million into the local economy. The federal government also supporting the production with $3.6 million through its location incentive program.
The entertainment industry has taken a fair kick in the solar plexus over the COVID issues. I think this is a pretty fair indication of the way that we have been dealing with these industry tight spots.
The city's mayor saying it's a great way to showcase the region.
It's a great opportunity for not only Port Augusta but the growth of our region. I believe they've been up to Flinders Ranges and Quorn and they're travelling in other areas, so it's a great way to showcase our beautiful area.
Filming will take place in Port Augusta for the rest of the week, with production returning to the region, wrapping up in July.
I'm sure locals will have fun spotting all the towns and places that we have been and, even spot themselves. We've used a lot of local extras from all the way from Hawker to Port Augusta and in the next town that we're going to. So, yeah, it's very important that we get a local flavour in the show.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Pirie Council and KeySab Cooking will be hosting an online workshop educating residents on minimising food wastage. The event, held next Tuesday, will feature expert Sarah Byrne, who is eager to get creative in the kitchen. She'll work to share her tips on food scraps and ways to create delicious meals with no waste. From 12:30 to 1:30, the free workshop is not one to miss. Residents can register their interest through Council's website. Stay with us after the break. Our reporter Katrina Musson will bring you a wrap-up of weekend sport. And we'll have all the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. We saw the return of many sporting competitions across the region over the weekend, with teams gearing up for a back-to-normal season ahead. Here's our reporter Katrina Musson with this week's Sports Wrap.
Winter sports got underway across the region on Anzac Eve, with some netball teams eager to take to the court for their first game of the season. Round 1 of Port Pirie Netball saw St Mark's Celtic take on Blue Wrens. St Mark's put up a good fight but fell short, with Blue Wrens winning by 6 goals. St Mark's Celtic's Callaloo Klinger receiving the RSL Anzac medal and A1 Intersport Player of the Week. In the other game, Ensoli smashed Port, taking home the first win of the season by 46 goals. Over to Whyalla, and Warriors just missed out on a win to YCW. The final score 37-27. And it was a close match between 2020 Grand Final teams Kiwi and True Blue. But Kiwi took home the win, defeating True Blue by 6 goals. True Blue's Letitia Trezise showing Anzac spirit and awarded the Anzac Day medal. In Port Lincoln, and the season opener saw Waybacks take to the court against Imperials. Waybacks securing their first win of the season by 17 goals. And in the other match, Winnilla held strong over Boston, the final score 49-35. And finally, in Northern Areas netball, Jamestown Peterborough secured a win over Orroroo by 13 goals. In the other match, and Southern Flinders were too strong for BMW, also winning by 13 goals. And it was a tight match between Crystalbrook and Broughton Mundora. Broughton Mundora taking home another win, placing them on top of the ladder. A congratulations to Jamestown Peterborough's Kate Fitzgerald, Southern Flinders' Jane Henderson, and Broughton Mundora's Jenny Ballantyne for winning the Anzac medal. And that's all for sport from across the region. We're always on the lookout for results to include in our sport wrap. If your league or competition would like to be featured, please let us know through our Facebook page.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather. Here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, Ruby. It was a sunny day across the state today as many South Australian children returned back to school. From 3 p.m, Whyalla reached a max of 23, Kadina a top of 24, Clare 22 degrees. Port Augusta and Woodner both sunny maxes of 27, Port Pirie and Cooper Pedy 25 degrees, 24 the high in Cleve, Broken Hill and Clare reached 22 degrees, a max of 21 in Port Lincoln, and Adelaide was the region's lowest temperature of 18 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite image now, low cloud over far southeastern SA in cool onshore winds is not producing any rain. Skies are generally clear elsewhere in the state under a firm high pressure system leading to a cool night. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Variable winds about 10 knots, seas below 1 metre, south to southwesterly swell below 1 metre, increasing to 1 to 1.5 metres south of Cal to Woolloomooloo. And there were no weather warnings issued for today across the Gulf. It will be partly cloudy in Port Lincoln, a max of 24 degrees. Similar conditions at Cleve, a top of 26 there. Woodner expecting a high of 29 degrees. Whyalla mostly sunny and will reach 25 degrees. Port Augusta also mostly sunny and 28. Kadina partly cloudy and a top of 24 degrees there. Port Pirie mostly sunny and 26. Clare to reach a top of 23, and Broken Hill will be sunny, also 23 degrees. Taking a look further through the week now, sunny conditions conditions expected across the region on Thursday. Woodner will be the warmest, reaching 29 degrees, 28 to the top in Port Augusta. Cooper Pedy to hit a sunny high of 27. Port Pirie will get to 26 degrees, 23 the max in Broken Hill. Whyalla, Cadine and Adelaide will all expect a top of 24. Port Lincoln will be mostly sunny, also 24 degrees. Warming up on Friday with sunny conditions across the region again. 30 degrees the top in Woodner. Port Augusta to reach 29. Port Pirie will be a sunny 28. Cooper Pedy and Whyalla both to hit 27. Broken Hill a top of 25. 26 degrees in both Kadina and Adelaide. Also a top of 26 degrees in Port Lincoln with a mostly sunny day forecast. To the weekend now, it'll be mostly sunny across the region. Port Augusta, Port Pirie, Woodner and Cooper Pedy all will reach 30 degrees. A top of 29 degrees in Whyalla. Port Lincoln, Kadina and Adelaide to top 27 degrees. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening and I'll be back later with an update. Until then, it's back to you, Ruby.
Lovely, thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening and John and the team will join you tomorrow with more local news. Good night.